Welcome back to the Chaos, everyone. ChaosEclipse here. We are back on Smalland Survive the Wilds. Um, so this is the update that I was talking about. This is called Smalland's Underlands. It doesn't show it on the title screen, but this is why we are restarting the game. I did make the choice to go ahead and restart, so we're going to go to our settings here. We're going to change a few things. Camera shake, turning that completely off. I don't like it. Arachnophobia, I'm leaving that on because I don't have arachnophobia. The volume there, I did turn down the music a bit. I think that's basically it right here. We can turn up the brightness a tiny bit because I think there are some dark areas on in the world that I want you guys to see. We're gonna go to play. I already made the character. This is him here. You can see it's a brand new character. We don't have any armor or anything. Also, I think our last colored character was a Nightfall color. This time I went with Enflamed, and I also changed his hair, which I think the last time was like white or something. And then I picked different antenna. So we're gonna go ahead and pick this guy. And then as you can see, I deleted all the worlds. So there's gonna be a couple things in here that I'm 100% gonna change. So I'm gonna go over those right now. If we scroll down, we're gonna leave everything there the same. The only thing that we are changing is the day cycle. We're gonna max that out, which it might already be maxed out. Yeah, it's maxed out already. It stayed the same. So that's at 120. Season cycles at 600, meaning each season is gonna last that long. Craft time, we're going to turn that off completely so that when you craft something, it's going to be instantly made. That way we don't have to stand around for minutes while stuff is crafting. Keep in mind, if you don't change that, even crafting something simple like a few bandages may take like a minute to do that. So it does get a little bit annoying pretty quick. So just keep that in mind. And I think that's it. Everything else we're pretty much going to leave the same. I do wish you could turn down the day-night cycle. Like, I mean, this is the day cycle, but this is like the day and night together. Like, you don't have control over making the day last longer and the night shorter, which is normally what I do. So we're going to leave it like that. We're going to create a new world, and we're just going to name it New World. Or you know what? We'll name it Underlands because that's what we're doing here. So we're doing Underlands. Hit R2. There it is. Create it. And boom, now we have our Underlands. So we're going to hit the start button. So I made the decision, obviously, to go ahead and restart the game completely. I will tell you, I have already done this. I took about an hour to an hour and a half showing you guys everything. Nothing has changed for the most part. Everything is new, or everything is the same. So I'm still going to show you guys some of it because there is one area that I found that is completely new, and it actually gives you access to the Underlands. So if you guys want, you guys can pause this, read this. Any of the dialogue we do, I'm not going to read it, but I will click on every single option so that you guys can read those. And obviously, I'll be talking to you guys as we're going through it, but just going to point out a few things here and there for anyone who is new to the series and didn't watch my old ones. But basically, you are a small folk. Like here, you wake up in this area. You and this guy, Hildred, were fighting the Wasp. You came from the underground. You are what's called a vanguard. The hell's wrong? Oh, shadow on top of my head. I guess the hair comes out to a point. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so you, the small folk, which is what you are, you live underground. You basically came up to try to reclaim the overgrown land and everything because I don't know why. I have no idea. But anyway, you come up here and you got attacked by a wasp. You and your friend. He got injured, so you're gonna have to carry out the orders yourself and figure out what to do, where to go, things like that. So he wants you to go and collect some stuff. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Sorry about that. There we go. Like I said, I'm just gonna click on everything here so that you guys can read it. Oops, sorry, clicked on the wrong one. I'm going too fast. Let me slow down a bit. Thanks. Next one is about tending to your injuries. He talks about bandages. Next one is about an encampment. He tells you how to initiate your building. Tells you about your foundations and everything. You're going to ask about the foundations. We have more questions. Then he tells you about a bed. And one last question about the workbench. Go. And then we'll do, I think I got it. Thanks. Should have more options here now. Gathering resources. Tells you how to gather them. Tells you about your antenna sense. And then that's it. All right. Now, what you could have done, I think it was part of that. I didn't really read it, but I think what you could have done is you can actually go and gather some resources before talking to him again, and then when you go back to him, you can pick an option that says I've gathered resources. But that might have been part of it. So just now, that little blue thing that you guys seen, that was me hitting L1 to do the antenna sense, and of course, you will start getting tips like you see up in the top right there, just telling you about. Gathering resources as well. We're just going to run around here. We're going to gather a whole bunch of resources real quick. Main things you want at the very beginning is just going to be the fiber that you can get from these sprouts. So you guys see me getting the resin, which when I pick up this resin, you'll see that I'm going to learn a couple new recipes up in the top left. There you go. It is the fire arrow. And then when I pick up wood for the first time, we're also going to learn some recipes that we will now be able to make due to us already having fiber, resin, and then now the wood. So there we go. There's some recipes, new recipes that you can make. And then for you to craft, you will hit your touchpad and you will hit R1, which, by the way, I apologize. We are on PS5. So you'll hit your R1 once you're in that menu from hitting the touchpad, and it will take you over to the crafting tab. Once in the crafting tab, it will show you all the stuff that you can make just by crafting with your hand. After crafting with your hand, you will make the build hammer, doing that with your hand. And then the build hammer will then, once you craft that and you equip it, it will then let you craft more stuff that you can craft from the actual workbench when you build the workbench using the build hammer. Hopefully I didn't lose you guys there, because that sounded weird to me and I probably got all mixed up with it. Dude, don't attack me, because I don't have any weapons yet. Going away. Let's grab the stuff here before it comes back. The only ants that are not hostile, they are called carpenter worker ants. Or no. Carpenter ant worker, I think is how they say it. Carpenter ant worker. But as you can see here, this is a carpenter ant warrior, so he will attack you. They don't have a big range for what's it called? They don't have a big range for aggroing you, though. There are other ants that do have wider ranges, like the bull ant, stuff like that, which we will see one here shortly. I just wanted to point that out in case you guys are wondering. All right, so let's go back over here. Let's see if he has that other option. I think I might have already picked the option. But if not, I at least want to show it to you guys. Come over here. Triangle. Yeah, so can you tell me about gathering resources? There was one. Once I have the resources. It's probably because I already talked to him all this stuff. If you gather the resources and then you come back to him, you'll have an option that literally says, I've gathered resources, what should I do now? Or something along those lines. And he'll then tell you all the stuff that I already clicked on. So you can either do it the way that I did or do it the other way. But basically, you want to start doing your little journal entries, which pop up in the top right for you. They track for you. So once us to craft a builder's hammer, then a workbench and a campfire. So we're going to do that real quick. We're going to hit touchpad, hit R1, go over to crafting. You can see here, these are things you can craft by hand. In the center there, it tells you the materials you have versus the materials you need. And it is backwards from what other games do. From my experience, the way other games do it is on the left, it will tell you the number that you need. And on the right, it will tell you the total you have. This one does it the other way around. So if you look at the fiber there in the center of the screen, it says we have 17, we need 2. Same thing with the wood under that. We have 62 wood, we need 5. So we're going to go ahead and craft this builder's hammer. Hold X on that. Boom, there it is. We can also craft the wooden hatchet, which it doesn't tell us to, but we're going to do it anyway. There we go. And then you can equip these. So we're going to put the hammer up over here. We're going to put the hatchet up here. In fact, we will move some of these things around. So let's put that there, that there. Bandages, I usually like on the end, and then we'll put food next to that. We'll put our additional food that we found, the berries, next to that. So that's normally how I like it. I left this first one empty here because when we make the bench, which you guys will see here in a second. Oh, look at that. It tells you all the stuff now that you've unlocked to craft because we made that build hammer. So now we can equip the build hammer. To equip items or to use items, down in the hotbar, you use your left and right on the D-pad. You can see it's moving back and forth there. And then you'll hit up on the D-pad to actually equip that item. So now we have our build hammer equipped. Once that's equipped, you can see there it says circle for structures. So we're going to hit circle, and then here is where you can actually craft stuff using the build hammer. So we have interactive stuff here, like your campfire, your bench, the two things they want us to make, a bed, all this stuff. If you want to build buildings, you go over to foundations for your actual foundation, and then building has your walls, your roofs, and your doors. And then, of course, you have a few decorations. But we're going to just do what they want us to do. So campfire first. Just got to find a spot where it will let us right there. And then hit circle to go back into the menu. Hit X on workbench. We're going to put the workbench right next to it. There we go. And then to get out of the build menu, you're just going to move away from that construction hammer there. And you're going to equip something else. So let's equip their the club again. There we go. We got our club out. So now we can hit triangle on the workbench. Oh, actually, it doesn't even want us to do anything at the moment. We are going to, though. We're going to hit triangle on the workbench. We're going to craft just a couple bandages here. Literally a couple. So 2 of them. Hit X on that. Hold X on that. There you go. You do have to claim it by hitting square. There you go. You have your bandages there. And then if you want to cook anything, you can hit triangle on this. You need wood in here. So you can add wood using triangle. Oh, yeah, it's adding it at the bottom. I was like, where's it adding it? So it's only letting me put 10 in there, which is weird. I thought it would let you do as much as you want, but I don't know. Anyway, these are the 3 things that they start you off with that you can cook. You can learn later on. So you can cook an ant head, you can cook a grilled grasshopper leg, and you can cook a mushroom steak. We're not going to cook any of them because we don't have any of the stuff. So we're going to take that all out, all the wood that we had in there. And then on here, they already show you in the very beginning right here this mandibular pickaxe. Before, what they used to do is they used to make it to where you don't even know how to make a pickaxe until you kill a bull ant, which gives you a mandibular. It's like one of their little pincers, and then you use that to make the pickaxe. But I don't know why they changed it, so it's a bit weird. But anyway, we're not going to mess with any of this stuff now. What we are going to do is we are going to actually break all the stuff down, because when you break down items, it will actually give you the stuff back, and we don't need these here, so we're not going to leave them here. So we're going to hit circle. Or sorry, we're going to hit up on the D-pad while we have our build hammer equipped. And then we're going to come up to these and we are going to dismantle. And it does give you back all the stuff that was used to craft it. It does that with every item in the game, every buildable item in the game. And then we're going to start moving forward here. Oh, you know what? I didn't even make it. Let's rebuild that real quick because I'm an idiot. There we go. And then we're going to use... we're going to make the wooden sword. I need more fiber. Fiber right here. So grab this fiber real quick. And as you can see right up over there, there's an ant kind of waiting for us, which is why I need to make a weapon. You do have the club, but I don't know. The sword does more. So claim that, and then we'll put our sword up in the top left there. There we go. And then now we can get rid of this thing. Wrong button. L2. There we go. Flip our sword and move forward. Go ahead and pick up some of these berries here. Now, if you're having a hard time finding this stuff, like I said, you can hit the L2 button. It does highlight everything you can pick up, or things like this that are already dropped will pop up purple. So just keep that in mind, and you do need to keep hitting it. Come on. Not going to? I know you want to. No? Alright, well, if you're not going to attack me, I'll leave you alone. It's probably because it's a beginner area, so we're not going to mess with them if they're not going to attack us. That's fine. See that owl right there? That owl is going to give you tips on the game. You will run into them all throughout the beginning part of the game. I do think there are some even a little bit later in the game, but for the most part, they will all pop up in the beginning. In fact, there's one back here that if you did not go this way, you will not see it. Like I said, I won't read these, but I will kind of give you hints or tips on what they say. There it is over there. So this one here, when you click on it, it just tells you that small folk can't swim. Don't go in deep water. There you go. And then it does say that upon death, I mean, you'll see this a couple times. Some of them kind of repeat themselves because they're required to. So that one tells you if you die in the water that you'll drop a tombstone. And the tombstone is how you get your stuff back. Then there's going to be another one later that explains the tombstone a little more in depth. So that one basically tells you don't go in deep water because you can't swim. This one here is the map. It just tells you how to use the map. It tells you how that you can use markers on the map. And that you can place down the markers wherever you want. And then up in the top right, you can see it's telling us about nourishment. That is because we are almost starving. We are going to go down in here. This is part of the new Underlands area, which I stumbled across when we were when I was making the previous video that you guys will not see. And hopefully I can make this one faster because I know a lot of people don't like hour-long videos. Right now we're just eating. If you look in the bottom left, the little yellow stomach that's down there, the 61 out of 100, you see the little markers that are on that bar that's filling up there? The little markers, if you can get your food past those little markers, your character will start healing himself over time because you are quote-unquote well-fed. So that's why I am eating all of this stuff real quick, all these berries, just so that we can get health over time. Because down in here we are going to fight at least one thing, and hopefully we can get an item from it. But yeah, this is the new Underlands here. This is part of it. Before I go any further, let me explain the Underlands. So, the Underlands. I explained it in the last video. If you didn't watch the last video, this is the world map, including this tan area up here. It's just unexplored. I don't know why it did this, because I have explored it before, but it left all this unexplored. Normally, when you start the game, you'll see nothing but tan stuff like this. You will see a couple of these markers, which are trees that you can eventually build in. But all of this tan will be covering the map. Anything outside of the tan, so like over here, you see how there's like a border here. This stuff is not explorable. That's not anything at all. This here is all explorable. So walking around here, it is a pretty big world. This is called the Overland. If you hit triangle, this is the Underlands. This is everything that's new in the game. And as you can see, it is the same exact measurements as the Overland. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I have seen people say that it is literally this entire area. As you can see, this is what we just discovered in the Underlands. So this whole area here is part of the Underlands. Now, obviously, we can't walk back over here because it looks like it's blocked, like it's just not part of the Underlands. So I don't know how big the Underlands is, but because of the blackness, everyone says it does span the entirety of the map. I don't know if that's true or not. I just want to point that out. But we are going to go down in here. We're going to take a look around, and I'll show you how big it really is. Except we're not going to go all the way through it, obviously, but I'll show you guys how big the whole area down here is that we can at least currently see. So we can use our axe to get through here. And along the way, you guys will see mushrooms that you can chop down. You'll see little wood things. So there's resources down here. There's resin right there. Oh, lag. Jesus. There's resin right there you can grab. There's some twigs up here on the left. Right there. More twigs down there. Also, these mushrooms can be chopped down. For those of you that don't know, these mushrooms can be cooked or you can eat them raw. They're edible mushrooms. It just depends on you. When you cook them, that is how you make the mushroom steak. And then as you can see, they added in a new decoration thing there, so you can actually put these down as decorations. Or at least use these to craft the decorations. I don't know. I haven't really tried it yet. But yeah, so this is a nice little area. Like I said, if you want, you can go down that way. We're going to circle around down there anyway. I'm just showing you guys the whole area here. I don't know if you can build under here. Actually, you can build under here because I did it in in the other video. I think I was repairing or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure you can build under here. In fact, here, let's check right now. Circle. Yep, look at that. You can build under here. So if you want to build this, you can build under here. We're not going to do it though, but I just want to show you guys that you can. And then coming down this way, more stuff. Because this is a beginner area, I like this. I like that they did this. Because this is a beginner area, there's not much here that's going to attack you. However, there is one creature up ahead. He is a little bit of a higher level. If you're just starting the game and you're not good at fighting, you probably don't want to fight him just yet. This is what's called a bull ant. We're going to go ahead and kill him, though. A lot of it is just like... I don't really want to compare it to Elden Ring, but it's like any other game where when you attack something, it's going to attack you back. All you have to do is either dodge or block it. We're just going to keep dodging here. You can see he's not hitting us at all. Just keep in mind, you want to make sure that you do have enough stamina to dodge. And you want to move out of the way before he actually swings. If not, you are going to take hits. He doesn't hurt, but if you're one of those people that that start panicking, I'll show you how hard he hits. We'll go ahead and take one for you guys. Look at that. So we took almost 20 damage there. It looks like it was 17 damage. I think we were all the way at 100. But if you start panicking and stuff, he can kill you pretty quick. And look at that. There's our first mandible, which is good. We actually got 2 of them. We also got an ant head, so we can make ant head trophies. But now, here's the underground area. Check this out, guys. You guys are like, oh, that's nothing. Look how big this is, though. And it goes way back there. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me that is not big. That is huge. And then from my understanding, there are 4 different crystal areas. This is obviously the green crystal area because you can see all the green crystals. There is also blue, amber, and what is it? Green, blue, amber, yellow. Yellow and amber. I believe they're 2 different colors. No, red. Amber is the yellow. Blue, red, green, amber. Yeah. So blue, red, green, yellow. But yeah, I don't know what's down here. You can see there's a couple butterflies down there. I think there's some bosses in each one of these caves. The only reason I'm not going down here is because I don't know if we can get back up. Now it does look like that right there is like a draft that will shoot you back up, but I don't know if you need wings, and I also don't know how, even if it throws you up there, I don't know how you would get from over there to over here. So I have not went down there, but this is the very first area that it shows you of the Underlands. And you can't go down there, or you can, but it's up to you guys if you want to try, because what I'm worried about is not being able to get back up. And since we're just starting the game, we're not going to do it. We're going to go with the story, and hopefully, I think the story will eventually lead us down here. I don't know what part of the story is going to lead us down here. I don't know how far into the game that's going to happen, but I at least wanted to point out this area because it is available right in the beginning, and I think that that is awesome that they did that. Because what I was worried about, and the whole reason I didn't really want to restart, was because I was worried that it was only going to be end game stuff, to where you can only go down there like after beating the initial part of Smalland. So it doesn't look like it's that way, because obviously they kind of introduce this if you stumble across it very early. And the fact that that was only a bull ant there, nothing that was going to one-shot me, gives me hope that that they introduce it pretty early on anyway. So what we're going to do, and I even said I was going to do this in the last one, and I forgot. What we're going to do is when we get right back up here to the opening, we're going to look at the map and we're going to mark it on the map. So we get back to the entrance of the cave here so that we can mark that on the map. And I believe you can even name the markers. It does have some of my old markers as well. So we will stop right here. And we'll take a look at the map. And right on top of us, right here, we would do add map marker. Where it's not letting me. So do I need to move away from here first? I think it won't let me mark right on top of me. Here, we'll do it like that. Let me move up some and we'll do it right behind me. Perfect. I don't think we really moved it at all, but that's fine. Square. And then we're going to call this the green cave. Because like I said, there are 4 different colors. I don't know if there's all of the colors in the different caves, but that's what we're going to do. And we're going to say ent for entrance. So that, well, you know what? I guess we can spell out the whole entrance word. Yeah, it doesn't take up that much space. That'd be fine. Yeah, but see, it also shows other stuff that I marked before, so that's fine. Okay, back out of there. There we go. There's that area. And then we're going to pick up some of this stuff along the way, because especially the fiber, because you're going to need fiber to make bandages, which you guys had already seen that. Luckily, we have not... Oh, not those. Luckily, we have not had to have any or use any yet, but eventually you're going to have to. I won't go out of my way to start grabbing fiber and resin and all that, but we are going to grab some of the stuff along the way, because you're going to be using it when you need to make your first building. So here's the next owl effigy. This one talks about the owl effigy itself and the journal. So in your menu, when you hit your touchpad, if you look, there are tabs at the top. There's one called Journal. What it's basically telling you is that if you go in there and you learn something from the owl effigy, but you forgot what it says, or you want to read it again or anything like that, you can go in that journal, and anything you have already learned from the owls will be in that journal. If you have not learned things from the owls, they will not appear in the journal, even if the owl will eventually show you. So if you're not finding the effigies, like this one I almost skipped, then you won't have that in your journal. But if you come up to it, you can see that the eyes went from green to black, so now this is part of what's in the journal. This one just tells you about health. It tells you about healing. It tells you about eating, how you lose health with the attacking creatures and stuff like that. But basically, we're going to keep running. We are going to... Did I go the wrong way? No. As long as you're still finding the owls, you're going the right way. Eventually, there will be lights that you can follow, but for now, we're just going to grab this. There's a tombstone thing that I mentioned to you guys. So basically, tombstones, they work like backpacks in other games. When you die, anything in your hotbar, you will not drop. Any armor you have on you, you will not drop. Everything else in your inventory will be dropped. So basically, the stuff up here will not be dropped, and the stuff here, your armor, will not be dropped. Obviously, you'll lose durability on your armor, but the stuff will not be dropped. Everything in here will be dropped. Well, most of the stuff in here, because as you can see, your crafting hammer's up here, but it's also here. Oh no, you know what? I'm wrong. I am 100% wrong. Everything over here will not be dropped. So what they mean by your armor that's equipped, or your weapon that's equipped, is here. So right now, because I have a sword equipped, I will not drop my sword. However, I will still drop my bandages, all this stuff. So everything here you'll still drop. It's just whatever's equipped currently will not be dropped. So if you have your club and you have whatever armor you have, that stuff will not be dropped. Everything else is going to be dropped. But basically, what happens is, like I said, it works just like... That was weird. I heard some weird sound. Basically, everything else, it works like a backpack in other games. When you die, you have to get back to your dead body, pick up your backpack, which in this game, it's a tombstone. But you'll pick up your tombstone, and that's how you get all your stuff back. Keep in mind that whatever bug or whatever killed you, they do not disappear. They will still be there, so you may want to come and be ready to fight, depending on what killed you. Maybe you're the one that initiated it and it's not even a hostile creature. Because I will tell you right now, if you start a fight at this level with a ladybug, you will probably die. Ladybugs have some good armor in this game. Here's the lights I was talking about that you can start following. Did I miss an owl effigy? Hope not. I mean, it's alright if we did. Here's one. Go ahead and talk with him. This is the creature's resistance and weaknesses. So I'm going to read this one because I believe the poison and fire is different. So it says there are 5 distinct weapon types your vanguard can wield: blunt, edge, pierced, poison, and fire. The creatures you encounter in the overland have different strengths and weaknesses when it comes to each. Pay attention to the icon next to their health bar which determines which type of weapon will be more efficient. Now, that last part there where it says about the icon next to their health bar, I never see that. I don't know if it's glitched or what, but check this out. If you come and you look at this ladybug here, there's no icon next to this ladybug's health bar. However, if you do your antenna sense, eventually, where's it at? Come on. Come on. You will have that pop up, which also still does not show you what its strengths and weaknesses are. The little question marks there, that has nothing to do with strengths and weaknesses. That just shows you the different items it can drop. So once it drops something, say it drops a leg, which I don't think they do, but say it drops a leg. The leg will then pop up and it will be one of those question marks there. But there are some creatures that show things and some that don't. So maybe some just don't have strengths and weaknesses, or maybe it's glitched. I don't really know how that works because they don't explain it. But I just wanted to explain what that part is. And then, like I said, you'll want to follow the lights. You can keep going that way. But we're not going to do that because there are bees and terrible stuff that way. We are going to go this way. Follow the lights is going to be your safest route. And then one of the things that it's eventually going to tell us, which might even be this next one, but I don't know. I'm going to tell you guys now. Because I thought it was down over here somewhere where it told us, but maybe not. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. Anyway, when you're on the map, if you hit X on any of these icons here, you can see that they highlight and de-highlight. So when it has the white circle around it, that means it's highlighted. When it's highlighted, if you look at the top, it will pop up there on your compass. So if I take that off, you can see it's no longer on the compass up there. And if I put it back, he's now on the compass. So if you guys are trying to find something, and like even if it's just a specific area, like say I want to go back to that green cave entrance. So if I turn around, you can look at the top of the compass. There's nothing there, right? So we'll go from north to west, to south, almost at east, and now to east, and then back to north. The only thing that's there is this Captain Herney guy, the guy that we're trying to find. But if I'm looking for that specific area, you can also highlight that. And you can see eventually it will pop up there. So it's between south and southeast. There we go. And that's the direction I would head in. So I just wanted to point that out because a lot of people don't know about that, even though it is one of the effigy tips. Whoops, wrong button. Here we go. Weather. So this one talks about rain, snow, and how it can damage structures. So basically, there's weather in the game that when the weather happens, it can definitely damage your... whoops, didn't mean to do that. It can definitely damage your structures. It can also damage you as an individual. Because if it gets too cold, your character will start taking damage from the cold weather. So just keep that in mind because you can freeze to death in the game. And then it also mentioned the structures. So if I place down a workbench, but that workbench is not covered by... Oh, I didn't get anything out of that. Probably under it and I can't see it. Anyway, the structures, like your workbench and everything, if they're not covered by a roof, they will take damage over time. Anything that is not covered by a roof will take damage over time. That includes foundations and everything. So if you guys want to build a porch and you don't want that porch to get messed up when you're building a house, make sure you put a roof over that porch. If not, it's going to take damage. You can turn that off in the options if you prefer to do so. Right here, here's another owl effigy. This one talks about crafting. Materials typically need crafting station, blah blah. So okay, it's just basic crafting. You guys already know how to do crafting. I already explained it to you. You can also repair your weapons. I don't know if it mentions that, but you can also repair your weapons. You can repair your armor. Those do need to be done at the bench. So you have to basically throw down a bench wherever you're at, do some repairs, and then keep going from there. Whoops, wrong button. Triangle. Durability. Not a hard one to do. That also talked about the repair and the repair kits. You can build repair kits so that you don't need the bench, but we're not going to worry about that. Durability, though, you see down here at the bottom where my little cursor is moving, the sword has a green bar next to it. The axe has a yellow bar next to it. The club has a green one. The repair hammer has a green one. The more you use this stuff, the durability decreases, just like any other game. So I've been using the axe the most, chopping mushrooms and stuff. So that's why that one's very low. Like I said, you will need a bench to repair that. I do believe that. I mean, you can just craft another one, but I do believe that you are saving materials if you repair it versus what's it called? Versus making a new one. So just keep that in mind. We're going to grab this little bit of fiber that's right here because we are going to need some fiber soon. We're going to need, you're not going to know this, but we're going to need about 29 fiber for what we're about to do here in a little bit. We have 25. That right there should put us over 29 so that we don't have to make any extra trips. We're going to come up here. Like I said, just follow the lights, guys. Follow the lights. There are also lights up there. We're going to go this way first because there's a whole big old thing right here. This is Captain Hearn. This is where you have to actually go. So you come up here, you speak with Captain Hearn, hit triangle on him. Like I said, I'm not going to read all this stuff, but there is stuff that he can do for you. When I say for you, I do mean he can do stuff for you. So we're going to hit X on that first option there. He tells you about all the stuff. Says you can build encampments up in treetops, blah, blah, blah. Hit X on that. He tells you to go and talk to the elder. And then you have a whole bunch of options here. The third one, the one that's highlighted right now, it says you can you craft some armor for me? That's because we have no armor. We're not really a soldier. We're a vanguard. He's a soldier. So if we click on this, he tells you, yes, I can. You just need to bring me the materials. If you hit X again, it shows you the 2 sets of armor he can make for you. So you have padded armor, which gives you the armor stats are technically the same, other than the abilities that the padded armor gives you. And yes, we're going to call them abilities. I mean, I guess it's abilities versus attributes, if that's how you want to look at it. I don't know. Anyway, so this one, the padded armor gives you cold protection, so you won't be as cold when you're running around. However, the light armor gives you additional speed. Look at that. You get what is that? 6 speed there. 6 speed percent because each one gives you 2. So we're going to go with the light armor. You can pick whichever one you want, but you can see that they do both cost fiber. Looks like the padded armor up here, you're going to need some more fiber. So if you don't have 29, or if you don't have whatever it requires for the padded armor, you're going to have to go and get some more. It is a total of 29 for the light armor because I already did the math before. So we're going to craft the light gauntlets, the light legs, and the light singlet. We'll equip that in a second. I'm going to hit circle real quick. Hit the touchpad. Go in here. You can see we have our hands. So we're going to do square to equip. We're going to do square on the legs here, and we're going to do square on the singlet. And you can see the armor actually does change on your character, and you get your old armor. We're going to hang on to that because why not, right? All right, so we're going to hold on to that. Sorry, I had to cough, so I'm kind of repeating myself here. We're going to hold on to that. It's telling about the temperatures up in the top right. We're going to ignore that because I already explained it to you guys. You can warm up by a campfire. Your campfire needs warmth. If you're not warm, then you probably should have took the padded armor. I like the speed, though, so we're going to stick with the speed. Anyway, we're going to talk about the rest, or we're going to do the rest with this guy. We're going to read everything here. So this is about the encampments. This is about the elder. This is if you want help reallocating your attributes, which we don't even have attributes yet. But he says that he'll have to charge us 200 hoots. We don't even have hoots yet. Which you'll see what hoots are in the. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. You'll see what hoots are in the future. We're not worried about that right now. And then it says, "Thank you. I'm ready to go." So now what he did is he marked the elder on the map for you and on the compass up there, so you can see that the elder is off in that direction. Ironically, that's where the lights go. So we're going to go that way. Before we do that, there's something I forgot to do because we actually got something that that we didn't get when I was doing the other video. So we're going to equip the build hammer. We're going to hit circle. We're going to build this bench again wherever it lets us. Right here. Boom. Oh, where to go? Boom. Oh, we don't have fiber. We need fiber. Let's go grab some fiber. There's actually fiber up behind this place. Not mushrooms. Up there. Oh, there's some right here. Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, it should be enough. All right, grab that. Grab that. Whoops. will craft a workbench. Too steep here. Plane lock. That's not what There we go. Don't care which way it's facing. If you want to rotate it, you hold L1 and then you can rotate it. We're going to hit use. We are going to go down to the pickaxe right here. And the only reason we couldn't do it before is because we did not have this ant piece. We got that from the Underland when we killed that ant. When I did the first recording, though, I killed that ant and I did not get one. So just keep that in mind. You won't always get one, but we got one. So I'm going to go ahead and craft this, and I'll show you why in just a second. We're going to go ahead and equip it. Where'd it go? Oh, we need to claim it. Square to claim. Square to claim. Then we're going to put it up here. And then we're going to go ahead and break this. So L2. Pick back up your stuff here. And then we are going to eat some food because we are close to starving again, basically. We're going to go back to our sword. And then we're going to go back down the hill. So keep in mind, I should have did this before. So we're kind of backtracking here, but I should have did this before. We're going to go back down the hill. Because there is something that if you don't get it now, you're going to have to backtrack later anyway. So since we're already in the area, it's going to be easier just to go back now. So that's why we're going back. And I'm just going to take the same route. You can kind of beeline straight towards the area, which I'll show you in a second where the area is. But I just want to show you guys the path that I'm taking so you guys don't get lost or whatever. Because it's really not that out of way. I mean, it is, especially because the path is all windy, but like it's time consuming, but it's not far, so to speak. All right, and then right there's no more lights, but just follow the way that you had came. Hopefully you guys remember. If you don't, then that's why I'm making this video, so you guys can remember here. So just stay on this little dirt path here. Try not to veer off. Stay in between like the paths of the grass, so to speak. All right, and then once you get right here, you have two ways that you can go. Well, I mean, you can go down a little further too. Basically, there's going to be three ways. You can start going that way right now. You can come down here where it's a little more flat. Give me a second. We got to get down there. Once you see the pond here, this is where you can turn left and you can go to the same area that we're going to go to. Or you can go back to the very beginning and you can circle around the pond. So let me show you where we're going. So if you look at the map here, we started here. This is where we ran into the green cave. We went up here. That's Captain Hearn. So we already ran back here. This pond here, basically what you want to do is you want to get on this side right here. And the reason for that, and this is only once you have that pickaxe. So what I should have done is I should have got the bull ant from here, crafted the pickaxe as soon as I got that thing, and then I should have just cut straight over here. And I'll show you what's over here. You can only pick this up with your pickaxe, though, which is why I say you want to have your pickaxe first. If you don't have your pickaxe, then coming this over here is just going to be pointless for you, and it's not going to be worth it. But because we have our pickaxe, that's why we're coming this way. Because like I said, if you don't get it now, you're going to have to backtrack later anyway, and it's going to be annoying for you. So may as well go ahead and do it now. And since we're doing the video a little faster than I did the first time, because I'm not reading all the crap and everything, it's not going to take us too long. So it's not for the wood here. Literally, it's right here. So we're going to pull out our pickaxe, and this is what you want. This is flint. There are only a few places in the game where you can actually get flint. This is one of them. So we're going to come over here. We're going to get as much flint as we can, which we should be able to pick it all up because it's not going to give you much anyway. And look at that. You can make a flint spear. I think there's going to be a few different things it's going to tell us we can make. Nope, just a flint spear. Huh. All right, well, we're not going to make a flint spear because I don't like the spears. Spears, whatever they are. Spears. But eventually you'll be able to make a better pickaxe, a flint pickaxe, or maybe not. You can make a flint sword, though, eventually. I don't know why it's not telling us we can do it already. Maybe we need more items or something, or maybe we just need to be a higher level. I don't know. But it's okay. We're still going to get all the flint. Because like I said, either way, you are going to need this stuff. This is an impassable thing that you need. Because you need flints to be able to craft the flint pickaxe eventually. And then use that flint pickaxe to get the next harder thing, which I don't even remember what it is. Pyrite? I don't remember. But you do need a flint pickaxe, so that's why we're getting all the flint. And then you can also make, like I said, a flint pickaxe or a flint sword. And I think there's like a few other weapons that you can do with flint. Flint arrows for your bow and arrow if you guys are ranged characters. Or the spear that you guys seen. I think you can make a flint axe. So it's just like the wooden axe, except it's going to last longer and you can chop down higher graded, quote unquote, trees. There we go. And then that's it. So we're going to go back the way we came. Like I said, it's just around the pond. If you come to the pond, I don't know if you guys seen it, there is a frog in that pond. Do not go in the pond. Well, first of all, don't go in the water because you can't swim. But don't jump on his lily pads. He will aggro on you, and he is, I believe, what's called an ancient frog. He will destroy you in one shot. He is very strong. Don't mess with him. Leave him alone. If you want, you can come, you can fight him later. But right now, just leave him alone. Let him do his thing. He'll be alright. You'll be alright. You don't need to mess with a frog right now. You can't take him anyway. If you can, prove me wrong. Send me a video of you taking him. Put it in the Discord. I have a Discord, by the way. If you go down to the description, you can see the Discord info there. Not many people are in there, though, so enter at your own risk. But I do talk to people in there. I talked to the one guy, and I welcomed a second guy. Second guy never said anything. The one guy stopped talking to me because I don't play the game that he watched anymore. I'm sure he still watches my videos, and I'm not like trying to badmouth him or anything, so don't take that the wrong way. But we just don't talk because we don't have anything really to talk about. The game that we were talking about was Cubic Odyssey, which is a very fun game. However, they have been slacking on the updates. Well, not slacking. I mean, it takes time to do those, so I can't say that. That makes it sound bad. It's just going to take time for them to do bigger, better updates. And right now, I feel like I've done everything in the game. And I didn't even rush through it. Like, I played the game as normal. I did the story. I went back through after the story and I played their adventure mode. And I basically did everything twice. And it's like, okay, how many times do I need to redo this before they start putting more stuff in the game? And like I said, it's not that they're being lazy or anything. It's just those more things are going to take longer time. So here we are back at Captain Hearn, who's right over there. Like I said, once you talk with him, you'll get the new icon on your map to go and talk to Ludwig, who is the elder. So we're going to go this way, keep following the lights like we were before. So light goes here, it goes up the tree. Some of the lights are going to start getting a little sparse, like they're going to be a little further in between. So just keep following the lights. Here's another owl. This one talks about bows, so this just talks about your range shots and everything. It does say you can draw your bow by holding R2, and I believe it talks about for maximum strength and accuracy, be sure to fully draw your bow before releasing. Yeah, so if you, like, technically, I think you can just kind of tap R and he'll just do, like, some weak shots off. But if you hold R, then he holds the bow back. Like, he holds the string back or whatever, and you can do, like, sort of like a power shot. I mean, it doesn't look any different, but you can tell that it has more of a kick behind it. I think this is where the ants start getting aggressive. That little one that you guys just seen right there. Well, these two are bigger. They're the Carpenter Warrior ants that we have been running into, who have not aggroed on us. However, now they are. This little guy, though, that one right there, the Carpenter Ant Worker, he will not aggro on you. He's not aggressive. You can see it does say vulnerabilities, edge damage. So that's what I was talking about before. Some of these do show that they have weaknesses and some of them don't. So I'm not sure how that works. But we're just going to run past them. We're not even going to worry about fighting them. You can fight them if you want. You can get some ant heads, because you can cook the ant heads later. Try to stay on the open path. Like I said, the lights do kind of go away, but try to stay on the open path here. And eventually it will take you the way that you need to go. You'll start seeing lights again. There's another owl. I don't think I missed any owls back there, but here's another owl. This one talks about dismantling structures. So dismantling the structures, I think I already mentioned that to you guys. Basically, when you dismantle a structure, it gives you back everything that you spent on it. So if it took 50 fiber to craft something, when you dismantle it, it will give you 50 fiber back. So just keep that in mind. And that still works if you have a structure that needs to be repaired. If you dismantle that and you just rebuild it, it's still going to give you the same amount back when you dismantle it. But don't think, oh, well, that's kind of a hack in the game. Not really, because when you repair the stuff in the game, it doesn't really cost you anything to repair structures. So it's kind of pointless. But I wanted to point it out. All right, this one talks about your armor. So once again, if you're in cold weather, you'll want warm armor. If you are... I mean, cold is really I don't know, because there's a lot of new stuff in the game since this update that I'm not really sure about. From before, cold was the only thing that you really had to worry about. If it's too cold and you're wearing like lighter armor or stuff that doesn't really give you cold protection, it is going to hurt you. The cold will eventually hurt you and you'll start losing health. But armor also has durability on it, so make sure you guys are repairing. Butterflies are friendly. They will not hurt you. They will kind of fly up close to you sometimes, but they're not going to hurt you. You can swing at them if you want. They do drop items. But I think once you hit them, they kind of fly off and they're a little hard to chase unless you have a bow and arrow. Day-night cycle. That just talks about there is a day-night cycle in the game, and some dangerous creatures do come out at night. There are different types of creatures at night. They're technically the same. So like all the little ladybugs you've been seeing, there's night ladybugs that look like a blackish color and they have green eyes. They're hostile. Whereas you guys have seen, none of the ladybugs have been attacking us. Ladybugs during the day are not hostile. At night they are. Not all of them, but you'll see the ones that are. So at night, just be careful. There are different creatures. Nourishment just talks about your food. Talks about if you're above that bar, like I told you, that you will start healing yourself. It also tells you that you need to eat to live. So make sure you guys are eating to live. Having this stuff real quick. All right, and we're back. Down in here, there's nothing in here. If you come down through here, there are some soldiers here. They won't attack you. They work for like the underground people that you are. You can get a few things down here, like these things right here. I don't even remember what they're called. Insect gelatine. I don't know. Anyway, you can pick those up if you want. You can also get them from killing bugs, so we're not going to pick them up. They do have a little bit of spots where you can come and you can get some fiber. You can get some wood. You can get some resin. But that's basically it. There's nothing else really down here. It is a nice little cozy looking area, which I wish they would expand on this some more. And I thought before that it had to do with the Underlands thing. This has been in the game since the very beginning, and I thought that maybe the Underlands, like this, would be how you access it, because it makes sense. It's underground. However, you can't do anything with this, at least not that I'm aware of. I don't know if there's a way to open this door in front of me, but this is as far as it goes. This is it. There's a dead end. Boom. Can't do anything. Can't open it. Can't do anything with it. You can see there that you can kind of go down there. Joke's on you. You can't. There's an invisible wall there. You can't jump over that invisible wall. I am walking forward and trying to jump over it, but it is an invisible wall. Even if... Oh, got stuck on that little gate. Even if you come up here, you can see I'm walking forward. It won't let me go that way. Like, it's just not possible. So just keep that in mind if you guys come down here. There's nothing really down here. It's just for aesthetics, basically. But it does look nice under here, and I wish they did more with it. Who knows? Maybe they will in the future. Because I don't know what the whole story with the Underlands is. Like, I don't know where it's... Well, first of all, I don't even know where it's introduced at, like in the storyline. And I don't know what the purpose of it is. Like, because I know Oh, I can't even tell you guys that because we haven't even seen. You know, I'll just go ahead and grab these since we're here. I'll tell you guys in a minute because we're just about to figure out the whole thing of why we need to talk to the elder. So let's talk to the elder first. I'll explain that story, and then we will talk more about the Underlands. So we came from up there. We saw this. We went in there. We're gonna keep following the lights going this way. Here's another owl. Let's talk with the owl. Harvesting just tells you about harvesting, how to gather stuff and all that. If you hit L1, I think I mentioned this, you can see all the stuff that you can gather. It is up to you on how much you guys want to gather. I will say it does stack pretty nicely in your inventory, so you do get some pretty good stacks in there to where you don't have to worry about your inventory too much, which is nice. You can pick up these blackberries, but I think that's their lunch, so we're going to leave it for them. We're going to gather this fiber here too. And like I said, I'm picking up a lot of this stuff. You'll want to pick up. I'm doing this fast for you guys. On the way here, every piece of wood, every piece of fiber you see, pick it up. Because if you don't, you're going to have to go back and you're going to need to farm it later anyway. So even the resin, pick that stuff up. I'm just not doing it because I don't want to bore you guys. So when we come out, it looks like we can go that way. But this is basically where our story is going to stop, at least for this episode. Because in here, in this little cave right here in front of us, this is where the elder's at. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna see what the elder wants, and then I will tell you guys about the story, the lore, and what all has happened thus far. So right here is the elder. You can talk with him. He basically tells you. Well, you tell him about the hornet attack and everything. He tells you that we need to get into the clover chest, but the key's gone missing, so someone has to find it. He tells you to check with the apothecary. The apothecary, like you guys can read all this. The apothecary is basically Melkar. You know, he's something blah blah blah. Either he can get into the chest, or he can make the stuff, or he's the one that did make stuff. I don't remember. But it says what's in the chest, and then you tell you have the elixir of life. It's basically an elixir that heals any ailment known to small folk. So we need that because evidently the princess is dying and she's sick or something. The queen, there we go. The queen is dying, and we need to help her to, or not help her. We need to get the key so that we can open the clover chest so that we can use the elixir and give it to her. And then have you tried forcing it? Sure, but it won't work. Blah blah blah. So we need to figure something out. And then you tell them about the hornet attack. He says, ah, shit, that's because the creatures have been acting up here, so you need to be careful because they're all aggressive or whatever. And then he said, does this have anything to do with the clover key? And it's like, maybe. That's definitely a possibility. We could definitely check on that. We'll have to figure it out. He's like, but for now, we need to focus on the queen, and we need to figure out who we can talk to about figuring out this whole thing with Melkar, the apothecary, and getting into that chest. So he's like, Herney and Kaylee can help you survive in the Outland, so you need to figure shit out. So it's like, all right, I shall leave now. So now, you look at the map, you have Herney, you have Drustana, who he didn't even mention, but you have Kaylee, so you would think, oh, I need to go to Kaylee first. Definitely go to Kaylee first. Herney's not going to do anything for you. He would just make you that same armor. He's not going to tell you anything new, I don't think. Justana is not even mentioned, but I think if you go to Kaylee first, he mentions Justana, and he also mentions Scotty down there. Yeah, that's it for now. Eventually, you'll have more people popping up on your map. Each one of these people do have different things that they can make for you, different armor, and they also have their own little faction type things. So eventually, if you look at, it goes right there. Yeah, it's right here on your inventory screen. So you don't see it just yet. On the right side, if you look where it says statistics, well, it says stats, it says attributes, and then it says camps. So the camps are the different factions. So if we go over to attributes, you can hit R2. You can see there we are currently level 3. We have 6 attribute points that we can put into stuff. And then if you hit R2 again, it shows you the camps. These camps allow you to have different, they're not abilities, they're not attributes. What would you call them? Passives, I guess. they offer you different passives. You can see here looking at Drustana there. Uh, it says 0 of 250. You can get points from doing the events in the game, and these points can then be put into this person's camp who can offer you these two things here. So you can get a resilient metabolism, meaning your nourishment loss is reduced by 25%, or you can do the improved metabolism, meaning all food and drink consumables are increased by 10%. So they all have their own little things. Some of them will even offer you like better armor, not better armor, but better statistics for your armor. Like this one here offers 5% increase movement speed to companions in your party, not to you, but to your companions. You can get improved tools from that one. You can get improved constitution down there, or you can become a skilled tamer. So they all offer different passives because I don't think any of those are like active things you can do. But they are passives, and there is a lot of new stuff in the game, so I don't know what all the passives are. So please don't ask. Just either play the game or just kind of hang out and wait until we get there. Um, so we have Scotty here. We have Justana here. I think one of these is Kaylee. Maybe not, though. You know what? It's probably not because I know who the other two people are. One is in the swamp area, which is over in this area, and then the other one is where is he? I think he's over in this area somewhere. Maybe I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But for sure, there's one in the swamp. This one in the swamp was always my favorite. Um, and then there's another guy who offers something else. But anyway, so that's the story with the whole why you need the key, because basically the queen's dying. She got sick. Here's the chest that you can't open. You can come back here. You can examine it. So we can hit examine. We can try to open the chest. It tells you it won't budge. You can examine the chest. It tells you that there's the clover thing on the front of it. You can examine the cavity. It tells you, hey, that looks like a clover. It says you can push the bottom of the cavity. Does nothing. So you need the clover key to actually do stuff. In here, you will find some items that you can pick up, but none of this has to do with opening the chest. This is just more materials instead of going outside and getting them. But basically, what happens in the game, and I don't know the full story because I technically never beat it. We got to the end, but I never beat it. Basically, you go from person to person trying to find out where this key is so that you can get back here and you can open that chest. Eventually, you find the key. You're able to open the chest. Inside the chest is like half of a recipe, I think, and it's like, ah, shit, we need to find the other half so that we can make this thing. And then he tells you, he introduces even more people. You have to go and you find those new people to make or to get the other half of the recipe. And then someone's like, I don't know what the fuck recipe you're talking about, but I think I can make this shit. So you go and he has like some ancient documents that he needs translated in order to make it. You go and you get those translated, and eventually they lead you into, I don't even remember what the area is called. It's like the desert lands or something like that, which is this area up here. And then there's a whole huge story up here that kind of goes with the same thing, but it also kind of branches off into its own little things, which even down here, it still branches off. But it does branch off into other things up here. But my thing is, I want to know how, or not how, but why the story branches off and what takes them back underground. Because in the very beginning, if you guys read it, like I said, I didn't read it, but if you guys read it, what happens is the right before the Hornet attack, it tells you that you are the Vanguard or whatever, and that you guys came from underground and you're back in the Overland to try to take it over and see what's going on, because there's been a lot of commotion in the Overland, and that's where your story starts. However, now with this new update, you guys seen how big the underground is. Those Underlands, eventually you go back down in there, and I don't know, like, the story. I mean, obviously it's not going to tell you until you get there, but I want to know the story behind the Underlands as far as why it takes you back down in there. Oh, and look at that, it just dead ends into nothing. Oh, is it because we need to climb this tree? This is the first tree. Yeah, so this tree here, we'll do this and then we'll go ahead and end the video here because we're coming up on about an hour. These big trees, we look at the map here, these big trees, you can see this icon. Let me zoom in here. You can see this icon right here. These are encampment trees. So that encampment there, there's one there, there's one there, there's one there. On these trees is where you can build your house. You can build down here if you want, but if you're playing online or anything, anyone can destroy it. It's not protected, things like that. Up in the trees, there is more of a set feature up there to where you can build up there, and you don't really have to worry about someone coming and invading, because I don't think they really can. You can still get invaded by bugs and stuff, but not by other players. So it just depends on the game mode you're in, I guess. But anyway, I think you still want to build in the trees, because what happens is, say I build in this tree, which we're going to at least go up there and claim the tree, but you come up here, you claim the tree, you build there. And then what you can do later is, like, say, oh, wow, there's even a thing there. That's got to be underground. There's no tree there. That's interesting. So they have encampments underground too. Okay, cool. Cool. I like that. Anyway, so basically you build your encampment, right? Or on top of the tree, whatever kind of base you want, however big you want. Well, I think there's restrictions on how big. But anyway, you build your base up there, and then say you're now questing over in this area where I have the iron marked. Say you're questing over in this area now. And it's like, man, I don't really run back and forth every time my inventory fills up, or every time I need to repair, or if I die, I'm going to spawn back over here because that's where my bed's at. What you can do is you can come to this tree here, and you can just claim this one. What happens is, when you claim this tree, everything that you built in this tree for your encampment automatically transfers here. You don't have to rebuild from scratch. You don't have to worry about getting materials and farming all over again. The only issue with the trees, and it's not really an issue. I mean, it makes sense, but I'm saying it's an issue because you do still have to go through this. The only thing with these trees is you have to first climb them to the top in order to claim the encampment. So we need to figure out how to get to the top of this tree. And I think, even though it dead ended back there, I don't think this is the way to go. Usually, oh, and we can go look at that big owl too. Usually there's a vine that circles around the tree that you want to go that way. So we're going to come back this way, and we're going to see if we can find that vine. Honestly, I think it was on the other side. Yeah, there's the vine there. So it's going to be up top. So let's go this way. And then after we claim this tree, we'll go ahead and stop here. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Let's go talk to this big owl real quick. I don't think you can talk to the big owl, but there's some materials here that we can grab. And this is nothing because it's literally right over there. So we're going to go over there real quick. Yeah, see, when I first played the game, this is the way that I came before. Which there are lights this way if you come this way, because you can even see there's lights here. But what I did is I looked for like the elder on the map, like, because he was still marked. Oh, he still is. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's back up that way. So I ran around this because it kind of circles up, and even there's even owls here. So, like I said, you'll run into owls nonstop basically until like midway through the game probably. This one just talks about taming creatures. You can tame creatures in the game. It works different from what it used to, so I don't know how it works now. But basically, there are traps that you can use, and like you trap the creature, and then I think they have like taming food that while it's trapped, you basically feed it that food and it tames. I think that's how it works now. We can talk with this owl. This talks about your codex. Yeah, so this just talks about keeping track of all the armor sets you can make. Basically everything you can not do in the game, but like craft or whatever. So like your workbenches, your armor, anything that you've unlocked or whatever is going to be in here. And then of course these are your different people with the camps and the different stuff they offer. So here's Herney, and here is the padded armor and the swift armor that he has. So that, like, if you unlock Scotty here, Scatty, whatever you want to call him, say you want whatever armor he has, and you're like, oh, I don't remember how good the stats were compared to Herney's, then you can like just look in here and be like, okay, yeah, his is better, so you can go there without needing to make the trip twice just to see whose is better. But let's go up here and go to the very top. grab all this stuff. And then this owl doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't do anything at all. All right, and then let's go back up to the tree. So we need to climb that tree real quick. It is nighttime. So technically, because it's nighttime, if you made a bed, you can sleep throughout the night. Oh, look, you see that grasshopper down there? See how the eyes are green? There are normal well, that's probably a normal grasshopper, honestly. There are normal grasshoppers that the grasshoppers, they will not attack you. However, at night, anything that has green eyes will attack you. That is what are they called? Lubbers? Lubber. They're hostile even during the day, but the grasshopper is not hostile during the day. At night, though, they're still hostile. So that's what I was talking about with the whole nighttime creature thing. Like right there, you can see the regular ladybugs still not hostile, but that is a new ladybug that only comes out at night. And I think it's called like a nocturnal bug or something like that. But they are hostile at night, so just be careful with walking around and what you're doing. But yeah, you'll see because he's going to aggro on me right now because I'm pretty sure he's right here somewhere. It is... It's just Nocturnal Ladybug. Yeah, Nocturnal Ladybug. Why does that keep going away? Yeah. Alright. And if he spots you, there you go, he's coming. Not gonna fight him though. We're gonna go climb that tree. Let's go this way. Then up this way. Then we'll go this way. Moths, I think, are still not hostile, even with the green eyes. Could be wrong. We're about to find out, maybe. Hello? Hello? Yeah, they're still not hostile. Same thing with the butterflies. Butterflies and moths are not hostile. So need to go up higher. Yeah, we need to go this way. This is where we were. This is where we came to a dead end. You've seen the big owl. We're going to go back this way. Up here on the right was the cave where the elder was. So right here was the cave where the elder was. And I do apologize about the lag. It's probably spawning something in that I don't know about. Or it could just be some underground shit. Oh, it was spawning in the world event. That's what I was talking about. With the world events, look at the map. Somewhere on the map, there will be a world event. These world events, do not take them lightly. When you go there, you will probably die if you're trying to do it early game. I would say wait till mid game, wait till you have some decent armor, some decent weapons, and you understand the combat. Every single one, well, I don't say every single one, I started to, but 90% of the world events are very hard if you're playing solo. They're not impossible, but they're hard. And it's not always that you can't do the fight. It's not always that you don't have the weapons or the armor. Sometimes it's just the sheer number of enemies that are there. Like there's one where there's like an ant invasion or something, and I shit you not, there's probably somewhere between 30 to 50 different ants there. Well, not different ants, but individual ants that will all attack you at the same time. So you have to like duck, dive, dodge, dip, and dive just to get around those guys while still fighting them. And the thing is, if one ant is alive at the end of that event, you failed the event. You have to kill all of the ants because they will all be marked with like little red icons so that you know that they're part of the event. And if you don't kill one ant, then you fail that event. And the thing that sucks about that is the events are probably the most annoying thing in the game, the way that they have them set up, or at least if they haven't changed them, which I don't think they did. Oh, and look at that. We're actually cold right now. You see how he's shivering? And you can see that even down on the bottom left, it does say we're currently cold. But we're not taking damage yet because I don't think we're too cold. So we need to hurry up and get up this... well, I mean, I guess I don't think it's going to get any colder. If it got colder, we would probably end up starting to die. I'm just eating real quick in case we start losing health. That way it'll kind of balance out, hopefully. Anyway, we're about halfway up the tree. But what I was talking about with the world events is the different armors and stuff that I was talking about, or not the different armors, the passives that the different camps offer. So if we look in here again, we go over to the different camps. These different passives that you got, you can see how it said 0 of 250. For you to claim one of those, you do have to get 250 of those points. The world events only give you somewhere between like 3 and 5 points per world event. And then, like I said, if that world event, if it doesn't get completed, like if you miss one ant and that world event ends because there are timed events, you do not get any points for that. You killed out of the 50 ants that you should have killed and you only killed 49 of them, you killed those 49 for nothing. You will get no points for it. So it is to me, it is a horrible system in the game. I think they should probably reduce the numbers or at least give you more world event points if you're playing solo, things like that. And as you can see, we do have frost building up around the edges of our screen because we're getting colder. So we do need to be careful here. We're still not losing health yet, though, and we are almost to the top. You see that big white thing up there? That is the top. That is a hot air balloon that once you get to the top, you don't have to make this trip every time. That hot air balloon will automatically come up and go down. Well, not automatically. You have to talk to like a little garden gnome thing. And you can call that hot air balloon to you, so that you don't have to do this trip every single time. But you have to climb to the top at least once, like so. And you have to talk to this gnome right here to claim this area. So this area is where you can build. This is all a big flat area, and then there's the hot air balloon right there. And you can talk to that gnome, or what is that? You can talk to this small folk guy in order to go up and down. And look at that, we're starting to lose health. So we're going to talk with him real quick. Claim this tree. Can I bandage or not? Yeah, we bandage. All right, so we're going to get back a little bit of health while that's happening. Now what we're going to do is we are going to try to craft us a thing before we die real quick. So foundation, boom, whoops, boom. Oh, hitting all the wrong buttons because I'm panicking. There we go. Building, wall. And I'm not worried about it looking pretty, because we just need shelter real quick. Look at that. We don't even have to build the whole thing, but now we're sheltered. Perfect. So now we can use another bandage here. In fact, what we can do is we can make a bed real quick. Is this the bed? They're both beds. No. Twigs and leaves floor. That's just interactive. Here's the bed. Yeah, so we can make a bed real quick. So we'll come out, go down a bed, unequip that, come back in, activate spawn point, sleep on the bed, give it a second. Sleeping? Yeah, we're sleeping. There it goes. There's a daytime. Just took a minute. Yeah, so there's a daytime. Eat some more food here, and of course it's storming. It's not storming too bad to where we need shelter again, so we're fine right now. But yeah, so you have to talk with him, claim it like we did, and then from there you can start building up here. And then this little shack here, or whatever you build, if you build like the whole area, it will be saved, and then every time you move to a new encampment, it'll automatically be transferred over there. And then from here on out, you don't have to go down every time. Technically, you can walk out on the branches. A lot of the trees do interconnect. But they did add in a new update where there's a lot of bugs up in the trees now. So out on the branches, you will run into bugs. Some of the dangerous ones are up here. Like the praying mantises are up here now. And you will find some wasps and some bees. Or hornets. Is there wasps and hornets or just hornets? I don't know. You'll find bee-like creatures, whether it's wasps, hornets, or bees, and they can be a little dangerous. But to go up and down the tree, you can talk with this guy. You can hit that you want to go down. He'll take you all the way down to the bottom. And there's another thing down here at the bottom where there's another gnome. And you guys are like, well, why can't you just talk to the gnome down there? You can. However, if you talk to the gnome down here, he won't let you claim the tree if you've never been up here. So because I've been up in this tree before, if I move my tree, say I move my tree over here and I claim this one, I have to climb that tree because I've never been in it before, and I have to claim it from the top. And then when I come back to this one where we are now, since I've already climbed it once, I can talk with this guy, and at that point I can just do, hey, I want to claim this tree. This is also how you can make your tree public if you want people to be able to go up in your tree and be able to edit stuff, which I would suggest not doing. Leave it private the way that it is, especially if you're playing online, because if not, people will go up there and they'll start messing with your shit. But then same thing, if you want to go back up, you can talk with this guy again, and you can do take me to the top, or you can just ask about the trees, like about making them public, things like that. I didn't mean to do that. I have another question. There we go. So you can pick these different options here to either make it public. You can ask about the encampments. You can ask about this right here. How can I prevent people from messing with my tree encampment? That has to do with the whole public thing. Or, like I said, you can just request to go back to the top, and he'll take you back to the top. And then eventually you will get things like the pets, where you can tame the hornets and stuff, where you can actually fly. Unfortunately, the flying is limited because it does still base off of your creature's stamina, which I guess makes sense, but I don't like that they do that in games when they add stamina for things like that. But yeah, that is the basics of the game. You guys seen a tiny bit of the Underlands. Hopefully moving forward we're going to see a lot more of it, but we are going to go through the story. I will try to do these as fast as I can. Like I said, I'll cut out as much as I can, but we'll see what happens. I mean, this hour is still almost an hour and a half long, just trying to show you guys everything. But that was the majority, or that was the entirety of the tutorial. I will say there's probably some owls that I missed. I might even see them when I'm looking at the recording to edit the video, because I do think I missed a couple of them. And the owls will always be there. You can always go back and find them or whatever. I don't think there's anything for finding all the owls, but like I said, they do give you tips. But I'm not worried about it because I know a lot of stuff about the game. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about the game, let me know down in the comment section. I can answer for the most part. I'd say about 90% of it, 90% of the questions you guys have. However, if it's about anything with the Underlands, I don't know at this current point in time. But anything else I should be able to answer. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join me in some Smalland adventures. This game does have crossplay. If you guys have the game and you want to play with me, let me know. Put it down in the comment section, post it in the Discord. You could, well, I was going to say you could message me. Just put it down in the comment section. If you guys add me on PlayStation, I do not mind. However, I want to make this very clear. If you add me and you don't say anything to me, I will not add you, because random people add me all the time and I don't play with randoms. However, if you add me and you say, hey man, I watch your YouTube videos, I will probably add you back. Don't get me wrong, it does not mean that we're going to be playing together all the time, and I don't mean that in an offensive way, but I like playing games by myself. I have, and I'm not calling anyone out, but I'm going to show you guys. I have people like this guy, and this guy. These three people here have added me because they watch at least one or two of my videos. And I talk to them, like we'll even message back and forth sometimes and everything. I know the games that they play. They know the games that I play. But I don't think I've ever played with any of them. Maybe this guy and this guy once, I think. This one here asked me recently. He saw me on DayZ. He's like, hey, man, you play DayZ. We're looking for another guy. I don't mind that. However, I did decline him. I told him, hey, man, no offense to you or anything, but if you're looking for a group of people to play with, I'm not always on DayZ. Like, the way that I play my games is I'll play them for like a month or two, and then I get bored of it, and I stop playing for a while. So I'm not going to be a reliable person for you in DayZ. So, and I told him that. And if he still would have been like, hey, man, that's cool, like, you know, just whenever you're on, like, I probably still would have joined him. But he didn't say anything, so I just kind of let it go. Because I don't want them to be relying on me to be their fourth person. Because that's what it sounded like, is they're looking for a reliable fourth person to do stuff in the game with them. I don't play Daisy often enough to be a reliable person. I'm also not good at Daisy, so it probably would have been a bad experience for the both of us. Um, but yeah, so just keep that in mind. You guys can feel free to add me or whatever. I have no issues with it, but I just want to make that clear that if you add me, it doesn't mean we're going to be playing all the time. You may or may not appear in one of my videos. More than likely, you won't, only because of the way my audio is set up. The way my audio is currently set up, I can hear people in game, but they can't hear me. I will eventually get that fixed, but that takes money that I don't currently have. So I'm at the point now where either I play games solo, or if I do play it and I want to have people, me being able to talk to people in the game, I have to basically record it from the PS5 without using my PC, and then save that video on the PS5, transfer that video over to the PC after doing the recording off the PS5. And then from there, I would have to go back, upload it to the PC, upload it to DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing software I use, edit it there, and then I would have to re-download it back to, or not re-download it, but I would have to do all the editing, the rendering, and all that, and then I would have to upload it to YouTube. So that just has a whole bunch of extra steps for me that I'm not really interested in doing. And I will say, even though I talk on YouTube a lot, and I've shown my face a few times, I'm also very introverted. So just because I'm talking a lot right now and everything, and I'm explaining stuff to you guys in the video, does not mean that if we're playing together that I'm going to be talking your ear off. More than likely, I'll stay quiet, unless it's just me and you, because that would just be awkward. But if you're playing with like 3 other friends and I'm just kind of like the fourth wheel or whatever, more than likely I'm not going to say anything, because we all have our different not personalities. We just have our different ways of playing games. Like when I'm playing with other people, I like to mess around. I like to be sarcastic and stuff like that. And I'll even say some pretty jacked up stuff. However, I will hold off. Oh, Jesus, that would have been bad. I will hold off on a lot of that, just because, like, I don't want to offend anyone, and my humor can be pretty dark at times. So I will probably, like I said, stay very quiet for the first couple times we play together, and I'll be honest with this too. If our personalities don't mix very well, I probably won't keep playing with you and your friends. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I like playing with people that are like-minded, if that makes sense. Before we go here, I do want to point out this as well. So right now, it's very interesting because in the last update, they did do the things where you can make like stables, like they changed the way that the companions work and all that, and they added in. I didn't mean to do that. They added in what are they called? Praying mantises in the trees. Since this update, the Underlands update, I have not seen any praying mantises in the trees. Don't get me wrong, this is only my second time playing since the update, so I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I flew around for a bit in that first video, and I even played a little bit after that just to see if I can find anything. I did not see any praying mantises in the trees at all. So I don't know if they moved the praying mantises altogether. I don't know if it's glitched. I don't know if maybe it happens at a certain point in the story, but you can see there's a hornet right over there. So clearly they didn't take all the creatures out of the trees. But it just bothers me because praying mantis armor and praying mantis weapon, they're very hard to get. Don't get me wrong, the praying mantises were no joke. Maybe that's why they moved them. But if you could kill them and you could get their materials, it is actually very good armor and very good weapons that you can get early on. So that's why I was looking for them, because I don't think I can take them right now, but I think I could take them sooner than getting some of the other armor. But like I said, that also might be why they took them out of the trees. I'm not really sure. So I'll have to look into that and kind of figure out what's going on with that. But that is going to be it for this one. Like I said, questions, comments, concerns, put it down in the comments section. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You guys can also share the videos if you would not mind doing it. You can join the Discord if you guys want any further information. I do think in the future what I'm going to do with the Discord as well is I am going to start putting updates in there instead of making videos on updates. I might still do it depending on how big of an update it is and what all it adds. But for games like Cubic Odyssey, I think there was an update that I never did a video on because it was more of the same stuff and it was just a lot of patch fixes. They didn't really add anything new. Like it wasn't a DLC. It was just, hey, we need to fix some shit, and that's all they did. So I didn't do a video on it. But I think what I might start doing so that people can stay up to date on that is I will probably start putting the updates on the Discord. For anyone who does join the Discord, if you're looking around in there and you don't know where to chat, there's a place called Hangout. Just go in there, talk there. They also have, or I say they, I also have a little spot where if you're a Pokemon fan, you can go in there, you can capture Pokemon. I think there's even a way to battle them, but I don't know how all that works. I just kind of put it in there to hopefully draw people in, and that doesn't seem to be happening. So I just want to mention it because it is still part of it. What else? What else? Oh, you guys can join the channel if you want. What I mean by joining the channel is subscribing is free. You can subscribe, and I am 100% awesome with you guys only subscribing to where it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and you're still supporting the channel. That is perfectly fine. However, if you guys, not no pressure, nothing like that, if you guys would not mind supporting the channel financially, feel free to do so. I do have that after you subscribe, if you click on it again, it will say join. If you click on that join button, it is a 99 cents a month subscription that you guys can use. There's not much that you get out of it, I'll be honest with you guys, which is why I'm letting you know about it. There's not much you can get out of it. That 99 cents a month does go towards me just making better content, hopefully upgrading the editing software, because I'm using a free version right now, and the paid version is a little bit better, so that would definitely help. And then it would help with things like, you know, buying new upcoming games. It's for me. Don't get me wrong. You are supporting me as an individual. You will be giving me money, but I want to let you know that it does go towards the channel. Obviously, like it's not just going to be like, I got to pay my bills. Don't get me wrong. I was going to be part of it because obviously I got to pay my bills, but it's going to help with things in the future, like making better content, being able to stay up to date with games, things like that. You know, buying the newer games that are coming out and everything. So I don't want to make it sound like, oh, it's 100% only going to be going to the channel stuff that I need. No, it's going to be going to stuff that I want. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That's how all YouTubers are. They say, oh, it's going to support the channel. That's what they mean when it's going to support the channel. It supports their daily life so that they can make videos. That's what it is. And I just want to be very clear on that, because I don't want people thinking like, oh, he's just lying to us just so he can get money. I want money, yeah, but I'm also going to be using it for the channel and for personal stuff. Like it's money, you know, like it's going to happen. Anyway, 99 cents a month if you want to do it. It's not a requirement. I would greatly appreciate that. Currently, I have 2 people doing it, so I get like 39 cents a month out of those 2 people. And that is both of them. That is not each one. So each one I get like 15 cents or 16 cents or something. And then for the 2 people, I get like 39 cents or something. I don't know. I think those numbers are pretty close, though. But yeah. And then I don't know what happened to it. I was looking at my channel. I have a StreamLabs shop where you guys can get my logo on a shirt. You guys can get it on a cup, on like a mouse pad, things like that. I don't know what happened to it because I was looking at my channel and my StreamLabs thing isn't even on there anymore. So I don't know when it was taken off. I don't know if I accidentally did it or what. I will be looking at putting that back on there. And then I'm also part of an affiliate program with Amazon. So the computer stuff that I currently have, I did rebuild my computer. I put, well, I can't say I basically rebuilt my computer from scratch. The only thing I didn't rebuy is like things that most people already have. So like I already have a monitor, I already have the mouse, the keyboard, the tower. But the components for the tower is what I rebuilt. Like I got a new graphics card. And I'm not saying that they're amazing because they're not, but they're at least better than what I had. If you guys are interested in any of that stuff, I will be posting that stuff. But I mentioned the affiliate program because they will be affiliate links. If you click on that item through my affiliate link, some of them are discounted. I will try to find all the discounted ones for you guys, and I'll post that in there. But it's not a discount because I'm an affiliate. It's just a discount because I'm a cheap bastard, and that's what I could afford at the time. So that's what I bought. And some of those things are going on sale. Some of them won't be on sale. But I'll put it down in the link, and then you guys can click on it that way and take a look at whether or not you want to actually buy it. But the whole affiliate thing is because if you do buy it from my link, um, obviously I'm going to get a little bit of a kickback. So it's like, I don't know, it's like 5% of whatever you guys spend on it. So it's not like I'm going to get rich off it or anything. But once again, it helps the channel. And if you're looking for parts for your computer anyway, or you don't know what to get, then maybe the links will actually help you guys decide, or you guys can at least take a look at like my specs, because you'll see everything that I spent on the computer and how much it actually cost me. But yeah, I think that's it. Enough running around this tree and repeating the same thing about questions, comments. Put it in the comment section. Blah blah blah. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully this series goes well, because I am looking forward to doing the Underlands, and a lot of the series I've been doing have not been kind of catching on really. I have one person who kind of religiously watches my Conan videos, and he makes comments all the time. Thank you so much for that. That one little comment, even if you're just saying hi and you're not even talking about the game, that actually helps my channel immensely, like a lot more than you think. So I do appreciate that, even if, like I said, even if you're just saying hi. For those of you who are watching and not saying anything, that is perfectly fine. I do appreciate that too, because I do get about 35 views, but I don't know if you're watching the whole videos, because some of them I've mentioned some things at the end, ask you guys to do it, which you guys might not even watch all this. But I've mentioned some things at the end of the video and you guys don't do them. So either you just don't want to, and that's fine, or you're just not watching the video all the way through, and that's also fine. As long as you watch some of it, I do appreciate it. Likes help, shares help, things like that. But yeah, thank you all for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.